Or those times where you have a certain agreement with a client and they know this is what they're paying for, but then they try to get stuff done outside of that agreement and then get mad when you have to upcharge them. And I think that's why it's so important to lay out from the beginning what it is that you're going to be doing for that client, especially if you're in a service-based business. What it is you're going to be doing, what that money, that monthly fee that they're paying, or whatever the case may be, however they're paying you, what does that cover? How long does it cover it for? And what is included and what's not included. So there's no confusion. Because again, a lot of clients, especially when it comes to having a marketing agency like we do, have expensive taste, but a poor budget to work with.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Quite literally. Will Tidwell, a younger gentleman.
I wish I didn't have this big heart. People just do nothing but hurt me. Anybody can dream the dream. Anybody can have a goal, but see,
you're gonna be a neighborhood hero. You just keep shining, young king.
If you're in a service-based business or product-based business, if you have a brand at all, right? Have you ever ran into those customers, those clients that have expensive taste but have a poor budget? And what I mean by that, y'all, is like, for me in particular, I have a marketing creative agency, right? That's what we do. We build brands from a content marketing creative standpoint. And a lot of times these clients and customers, they come to you with these big ideas, these things they want to do, these things they want to accomplish, these amazing ideas. And you tell them, yeah, I can help they come to life. I can make that happen. I can do that for you. But then the first question I have to ask them is, what type of budget are we working with? And then I have to say to you, I get that you want to do all of these amazing things, but the budget that you're giving me ain't matching that. You telling me you want to do this, but the number you just gave me is nowhere near that. And you know what? I'm part of the problem. Because when I was pitching these certain clients, when I'm going after these certain type of customers and these certain type of leads, I'm so afraid of them saying no. You're so afraid of the rejection almost, or you just want to make sure that you close the deal, that you almost lowball yourself on the number that you give them of what you can do the services for. And it doesn't hit you a lot of times until you get into the business and the everyday of the work to realize how bad you lowballed yourself. And don't let me get me started if you got a team and people that got to help you and you trying to scale and you trying to grow. You just keep shooting yourself in the foot. I'm part of the problem for that. And do you ever notice how the ones you try to look out for the most, the clients you try to give a discount to, the clients you try to cut a few corners for, the clients you try to help out, the one you break down your prices and let them pay you in payments for, or whatever the case may be, the one you just try to do right by, those are the clients that work the hell out of you the most. Those are the clients that want you to jump over the moon and the stars for them, and they have no type of compensation to show or to thank you for all of the work that you put in for them. Or those times where you have a certain agreement with a client and they know this is what they're paying for, but then they try to get stuff done outside of that agreement and then get mad when you have to upcharge them. And I think that's why it's so important to lay out from the beginning what it is that you're going to be doing for that client, especially if you're in a service-based business. What it is you're going to be doing, what that monthly fee that they're paying, or whatever the case may be, however they're paying you, what does that cover, how long does it cover it for, and what is included and what's not included. So there's no confusion. Because again, a lot of clients, especially when it comes to having a marketing agency like we do, have expensive taste, but a poor budget to work with. A lot of us are trying to heal while we're still trying to be happy. A lot of us are trying to heal while we're still trying to chase our dreams. A lot of us are trying to heal while we're still trying to be in love with somebody. A lot of us are trying to heal while we're still trying to battle that depression from that thing that just happened in our life.
So I don't even think that it's not possible for us to heal, or that healing is the hard thing. I think the hard thing about the whole healing process is that you're trying to heal from something that happened in your past and something that happened so long ago, but you're still dealing with new experiences and new feelings and new things every single day of your life. You try to balance all that. So I don't think healing is hard. I think healing while trying to continue to live your life as a human being is hard. But that's the thing a lot of people don't tell us.
They want all these glamorous things, but they don't have the budget to match to pay for the glamorous things they want. And you know what? You're probably asking me, so what are some things that I can be doing? Well, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. You're probably asking me this. What do I mean by that? Why am I talking about this? Because I want all my business owners and all my professionals out there to have a brain to understand this. The same way that clients and potential customers and leads have a certain standard that they're looking at when they decide they want to do business with you. They have boxes that they're checking off, whether you know that or not. There's certain things they're looking for, certain things they're hoping for when they decide they're going to spend money with you. It's okay for you as the business owner to have a certain standard too. It's okay for you to have a certain standard that's saying that if you can't check these boxes off for me, then I may not be the best fit for you. And I get it. When you're a business owner, there's going to be months and there's going to be weeks and there's going to be days where even though that money is way below what you're worth and what you need, sometimes just hearing that number on the table sounds so good, you almost cave in and give into it just because sometimes business is slow. Entrepreneurship is rough. But the same way that customer has a certain standard that they stand on and that they expect and that they're checking off the boxes to make sure you check it off when they decide to do business with you, you should have a certain type of experience and a certain type of standard that you're reaching up to too. And so you're like, Z, so what are some of the things that I should be looking for? So for instance, going into 2024, one of the main things I told my team is that if you don't make over a certain amount of money, you can't work with us. If you don't have a certain amount of income coming in or streams of income coming in to where you can pay for what it is that we do for you, you can't work with us. Because one of my friends said something so profound. If you're working with people in a certain tax bracket, when you do a service like what we offer, marketing and communications and creative agency and things of that nature, when you do something like in the field that we're both in, when people have to cut their costs, one of the first things going to be having to go is you. And that's a whole nother conversation that we can have one day when it talks about how you can insulate your business in a way to where even if people have to cut costs, you're not one of the first things that have to go because you're such a need for them. They can't let you go. That's a whole nother thing we can talk about one day. But that's the reality of it. When people have to cut costs a lot of times, especially with certain things that you may offer or certain things you do for your business, you may be one of the first expenses that they have to cut, especially if you're charging them on a recurring fee. So I told my team, if they don't make over a certain amount of money, we can't work with them anymore. If they haven't been in business for a certain amount of years or have a certain amount of capital or seed or funding put aside, we can't work with them. If I can't tell as a CEO that they're competent and they know what they're talking about and they know what they're doing, then they can't work with me. It doesn't mean that I think I'm better than them or anything like that. No, it's just that I have a certain standard. And I know that if I keep on accepting anybody, even though they said yes, because I think sometimes what it is we get hung up on the fact that people are saying yes to us when we close a deal. But one of the most profound things that I heard the other day was that if so many people are saying yes to you when you're selling to them, then that means that your price points are too low. If you're not getting a certain amount of no's and a certain amount of that's out of my budget, if you're not getting enough of those, that lets you know two things. Your price point isn't high enough and you're not reaching a certain quality or a certain caliber level of client that you need to be reaching. Which is why your business can't grow the way it needs to grow. So why is it so important to have this standard? The reason why it's so critical for you guys to have this standard when it comes to your business and your brand and not just accepting anybody as a client and as somebody that you want to do business with. It's because you need stability like everybody else. And when you have a certain standard, we have a certain thing that you live by in your brand, you keep away those people that have that expensive taste with a poor budget, and you start attracting those people that have an expensive taste and an even more expensive budget. And that the ideas that they have, they can match it and they can do what needs to be done and pay you what you're worth and never make you question that. You deserve that. Because another thing is, one, if you're constantly seeing that a lot of clients are leaving or cutting you out of their budget, or they're not staying with you very long, or they're getting behind on their payments, then that lets you know this: you're not attracting a high level of type of quality of leads. You're talking to middle class people or lower class people about a luxury product, and it'll never work. You're talking a language to them that they don't understand. You asking this person that barely has something left over each month for themselves to spend an additional X amount of dollars with you when that's just not something that they planned for. They couldn't afford it, even if they do know they need it. Their brand really needs it. Their brand could really use it. They're not going to even be able to comprehend why it is you're talking to them in the first place. And so my message to you is this. This is the year you stop playing small. This is the year that you stop lowballing yourself on your prices because you're afraid of what people are going to say. If they say no, that's okay. There's somebody out there that needs what you have to give, what you have to offer, that needs your business, and you won't be too much for them. Eventually, you're going to run into somebody and they're going to say, that's all you charge? For what you're doing, you should be charging this. And when you start to run into people like that, then you'll know you found your crowd. But there's no more of this playing small shit. There's no more of this lowering your standard and lowering your prices and lowering the quality of your work just so you can be able to get a yes from somebody that can't afford you anyway. This is the year we're not afraid of rejection anymore. We're not afraid of people not being able to see our value anymore. That's their problem, not yours. Because because reality, the problem was never your services. It was never your business. Not to say that you don't need to work on the business. Not to say that you don't need to clean some things up in the brand. But a lot of times we lowball ourselves. We lower our prices. We lessen the quality of our work because we're offering too much to people that can't afford us anyway. And it's the year we stop doing that. And so the main point I want you to take away from this is the year that we stop talking to people with an expensive taste and a poor budget. This is the year we stop offering so much to people that can't afford us to begin with. This is the year we stop being afraid of rejection. This is the year that we stop playing it small and saying we have a small business when we have a business that one day is going to take over the world. This is the year that we stop trying to attract people that were never meant for our business to begin with. This is the year that we hold our business to a standard. So for me, my standard is that you have to make a certain amount of money for me to do business with you. One of the first questions I'm going to ask you. You have to be in business for a certain amount of years for me to do business with you. You have to have made a certain amount of money within that amount of time you've been open for business for me to do business with you. You have to be a competent CEO in order for me to do business with you. And by being a competent CEO, you have to have a certain amount of process and systems in place in order for me to do business with you. Because why? Now that lets me know that you can afford what it is that I'm going to bring to the table. Now I can give you my best foot forward and not have to worry about not bringing my whole team with me because you can't afford the whole team, or cutting corners just to be able to do business with you and killing my damn self basically just to make you happy. And in reality, I'm still not making you happy because you have this certain vision of how you want your brand to be. But baby, you can't afford it. You can't afford what you're asking me to really do, because if I showed you what it was really going to cost, you'll be in the negative. You're not playing it small no more with these people because you're too valuable. Your brand is too special, and the world needs you too much for you to keep playing it small. Now, was that to say you don't remember where you come from, or that you can't start out charging a certain price? No, it's not to say that. But as you continue to get better, as you continue to grow, as you continue to master your skills and doing quality, top-notch work, your prices just have to reflect that. That's all I'm saying. So we stand away from people that have an expensive taste with a poor budget, because those people will work the shit out of you. And that's all I had to say today, man. Hope you enjoyed this episode of SpeakUPZee the podcast, man. Remember to like and subscribe to this video. If you want more business content like this, just real and raw and honest, I can definitely make that happen for you guys, man. I love y'all, man. Until next week. Peace. Hey, what's up? This is Will Z Tidwell with SpeakUPZee. And I just want to take a quick second just to thank you for tuning in to this latest episode of SpeakUPZee the podcast. And my only goal with this platform is to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you around all things life, business, and mental health, whether it's myself or me bringing on a special guest. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. We don't ask for any type of monetary gains or anything like that. The best thing you could do for us is just like and subscribe to the channel. Until next week, we'll see y'all later. Peace.